Broadcast to All Americans, Part 2. September 23, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. Those who read or heard the first blurb now understand that our actual government has been missing in action for 160 years, ever since the beginning of the Civil War. Our American government has been, presumed to be in interregnum, and, held in abeyance, ever since. Karen Hudes has referred to it repeatedly in numerous videos and public comments. This basic misunderstanding about the status of the so-called Reconstruction, of our Confederation and their States of America organization that is supposed to be operating the Federal Republic, along with widespread misunderstanding about the actual structure of our government, has left the door open for certain European subcontractors to commit fraud and many other crimes against their innocent employers, the American states and people. Please get this fact firmly cemented in your brains. You have never actually seen the lawful American government in action in your lifetimes. Until now. What you've seen, instead, and taken to be your government, are foreign federal subcontractors acting under your delegated powers as your presumed to be representatives and agents in the sense of being proxies. Your actual government has been summoned into session, and there are now 50 state assemblies populated by properly identified and declared Americans, all in operation and conducting business internationally through their unincorporated Federation of States, the United States of America. You are all being called to do your public duty, to enforce the public law, including the constitutions, and to self-govern, as you are meant to do. Join your state assembly, fill your civilian court jury pools, and get busy. It's long overdue. This past week, John Duresh of the National Liberty Alliance has gone off on another tear, having discovered Rule 2 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, which was instituted in 1934, in tandem with the Emergency Banking Act. He is claiming that this is, the answer, the reason for all the criminal oppression Americans have suffered and are suffering. But if you have been following along, you know that your government hadn't been heard from in 74 years in 1934, and was not involved in anything going on in 1934. The bankruptcies that occurred in 1906–07 and again in 1930–33, were all about the foreign federal subcontractors, both the British territorial and Papist municipal subcontractors operating for profit commercial corporations chartered in 1868 and 1878, respectively, in the business of providing governmental services. And if you are thinking at all, you know this is true, because actual governments are not eligible for bankruptcy protection. They enjoy state immunity. So the conversion of the civil, that is, Papist municipal courts, under Rule 2 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, concerns foreign law and foreign courts and their internal administration. Notice the words, federal, and civil, and rules. If John Duresh knew what those words meant, he would never suppose that they have anything to do with us or our courts at all. Like many Americans, he mistakes something that represents him as being him, similar to a man mistaking his image in a mirror for his living self. We must overcome this confusion in order to address the realities of this situation and stop wasting our time and our energy trying to correct foreign governments while neglecting our own. All those organizations like the National Liberty Alliance that have formed in support of enforcing the constitutions and protecting average Americans from being attacked in these foreign courts, need to accept their public duty and join their state assemblies, fill their own jury pools, reboot their own civilian courts, and do the work of self-governance as other Americans already are doing in all 50 states. When they do, they will find that the world settles back into place, and the tail stops wagging the dog. Links to Anna's articles and resources can be found in the video description box. Thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing.